Hello, everyone. Well, I got great news about Siggraph this year. I hope you're going. It's in Los Angeles this year. Siggraph 2023, the annual conference covering computer graphics, including for the visual effects and animation industry. This is the place to be. I try to go every year, and every year I try to help with at least one or two discussions to help them along and act as facilitator, and this year is no different. If you're into rendering or storage at any kind of visual effects or animation studio, then you're going to want to attend these 3 birds of a feather sessions. This year I will be hosting a couple of sessions, and I've made sure to schedule them adjacent to another session, so you've got a triple shot of rendering and storage on Tuesday. Starting at 10 a.m., you're going to have Going Cloud Native. This is not my session. This is a session that was originally started by Doug Sherman at DreamWorks. It's spread on to folks from Animal Logic, ILM. There's some vendors that participate as well. And it's all about rendering on the cloud exclusively, doing a cloud native engagement. Most of the large studios aren't necessarily going cloud native, but their pipelines are built to allow for it. It's a really good session to go to because everyone should be enabled to use the cloud. And that session will be from 10 a.m. to 11:30 on Tuesday in room 510. So right after that at noon will be the next session called Studio Storage. And it's an annual discussion where we talk about the VFX and animation studio's large-scale storage experiences. The types of workloads, the types of storage that visual effects and animation studios have to deploy have very unique characteristics. And it's really great for everyone to get into the room together and have a conversation on the problems they're seeing, the solutions they've found. It's an open discussion, so we usually go into it with some talking points for everyone to start discussing. But it's really great when the room takes over and guides where the session goes. If there's a conversation that everybody wants to talk about, then that's what we're going to be talking about at that session. So every year it's a little bit of a surprise what it is that we'll be talking about. I'll be hosting that session along with Eric Bermender from Pixar. We've actually worked together at a few different studios, at a Disney studio and at ILM before that. And so it's really great to get together with Eric. That guy knows more about storage than most anyone I know. So that'll be from 12 to 1:30 on Tuesday. Then starting at 2 p.m. after a half-hour break, we're going to have the Renderfarming conversation. This is an annual discussion for VFX animation that talks about large-scale rendering. The render farms that these studios have to deal with, they're often partially on-prem, partially on the cloud. Maybe they're using a private cloud like the CDW Studio Cloud that I offer. And so how they have it set up is a little different than a cloud-native environment, and it really is the more traditional, tried-and-true way that rendering's been going on in this industry for a couple of decades. This conversation goes back, I think, nearly a decade now. That's been happening every year. It was started by Mark Hills, who at the time was at Framestore. He's now moved on to bigger and better things. And I've taken over this render farming conversation, and I try to pair up with someone. I think I have a co-host, and I haven't gotten final confirmation on who that co-host is, so I'm not going to say it just yet, but it's likely going to be someone who's had a long history in building farms from the software level up. And so I really hope to have a good, meaty conversation about render farms, both on-prem and extending out to the cloud. So these 3 sessions really can offer a foundation for anyone going to Siggraph who wants to know about rendering and storage. This is the one place to go. You can settle into this room for the afternoon, come and go as you need to. Capacity of only 80 to 100 people per room. So if you are interested in going, you probably want to get there during the cloud native one and hold your seat. These rooms tend to get pretty warm. They get really filled up, and they can sometimes be standing room only. So make sure you wear comfortable shoes to Siggraph, bring some water, and settle on in for some great conversations. There'll be a half-hour break in between each session in case you need to step away, deal with other business, or just take a break and get some food. Please join me. If you have any questions, please comment below. You can always reach out to me at cupofjoevfx@gmail.com, and I'll reach out back to you. Put a message here. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you know me there. And I really hope to see you at Siggraph. I think this year is going to be a good year. I think as you talk to folks who deal with pipeline and infrastructure at Siggraph, you'll find that this year, one thing that people will be doing during the strike, as it gets a little quiet out there, unfortunately, is they'll be using that time to beef up and strengthen their own infrastructure, whether it's software pipeline or actual IT infrastructure. Right now, while we're in this bit of a lull and some of the studios are shrinking in a little bit, it's the perfect time to finally get done all of those projects that studios are trying to get done, but we're always too busy to get done. And as such, I expect that we will be having conversations about the changes people are implementing and the upgrades people are doing to their pipeline, whether it's software driven or hardware driven, to take advantage of the fact that during this strike, this is one of those few moments we have to actually stop the car, work on it, and send it back on the road. I hope to see you at Siggraph, and if you're going, drop in the comments or let me know that you're going. There's going to be some great parties this year. Thanks, everyone, and don't forget to try this video over here. You can try this video over here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, just click this little round button right here. It's a really great way to subscribe to my channel with just one click, and check out this other video over here. It's a pretty good one too.